A failing rail network, deteriorating rural roads, poor power cuts and now truck attacks. Will the agricultural sector continue to stand the country in good stead? Now, Agri SA says the truck attacks are a direct assault on the South African economy and a significant risk to food security. The organization has called on the president to deploy the SANDF to help secure major routes amidst these truck attacks. Agri SA President Jaco Minnaar joins me now to just give us more details. So, Mr. Minnaar, the president has deployed the SANDF to strategic areas, particularly the Moy Plaza on the N3 highway, which we saw 27 trucks being burnt there during the July unrest. Do you think that's enough? Is it reactionary?
I think, will it ever be enough? I think we should have done this a long time ago. We've seen the Moy River plazas, especially, is a crime hotspot. A lot of trucks, a lot of the goods that's been transported have been lost there. So yes, maybe it's too late, but at least we're starting. At least we're starting to protect these routes. For agriculture, it's very important. The two main routes for export, the N3 and the N2 corridor up to Richards Bay and further, is very important. The N4 as well. So we really welcome this. This is a necessary step. I think in going to the police, Minister Kele yesterday announced that they know that about 10 people that's involved in this. I think they should be arrested as soon as possible. We cannot tolerate this. We cannot afford this as a country. It's detrimental to our economy, and it's detrimental to our future.
One person being arrested overnight in Mpumalanga, Mr. Minnaar. I don't know if you think that's enough. Maybe it'll stop, the fact that we've been waking up almost every single morning to a new or a few trucks being burnt.
Yeah, we've seen in 2021, July 2021, the riots that we had then. That all started with 28 vehicles that's been burnt specifically at the Moy River Plaza. And from there, it just escalated into Gauteng and to the rest of KZN. So the soonest the police can react, the soonest the SANDF can make a change, the better for the country and the better for the economy. One will never be enough. We know there's more responsible. This was clearly a coordinated attack. So the sooner we can respond to that, the sooner we can get the culprits behind bars, the right message will be sent out to the rest of the criminals as well.
There's statistics that the minister shared yesterday, Mr. Minnaar, that I found to be very interesting. He says since 2018, about 107 trucks have been set alight on South Africans' roads. So since 2017 until now, with the 21 that we have this year being added, it's 117 trucks being burnt. He says since then, 67 people have been arrested. Does that equate to intelligence actually working?
I think it could be. The concern is it's just 120 or whatever the amount of vehicles. The problem is the causes that the road closure, specifically on the Van Redens Pass, the N3, caused a massive lot of backlog in trucks. So if we are in an export business, there's a ship in the harbor. That ship needs to be loaded as soon as possible. So if the trucks can't get to the harbor in time, and an hour or 2 hours make a huge difference. If it can't get to the harbor, the knock-on effect is not just 120 vehicles. It's a lot more than just those vehicles. Just for example, the citrus harvest, that needs about 50,000 trucks to get to the harbor to export that. 50,000. So if you just take that 50,000 trucks and just delay them by 10 hours, the amount of money that you're talking about is enormous.
And I mean, that's what I was coming to. A lot of the trucks that are, in terms of the statistics right now with the 21, it's mostly the coal trucks, right? And mostly the ones on that particular route, obviously going to Mpumalanga to service our coal power stations in that particular province. But we did see that there was a truck that was supposed to be delivering citrus to China, that was supposed to actually go to a dock to deliver that. So talk to me about, historically and right now, how much this is likely to cost the agriculture sector and the farmers that are expected to make money out of this?
I think the knock-on effect is this. The first one is citrus is a fresh produce, so it needs to get to the harbour and to the consumer at the end of the day as soon as possible. The longer it takes, the lesser the quality, and then that quality has a direct impact on the price. So it certainly has a direct impact on the producer price. And at the end of the day, that ability of the farmer to afford more farm workers, to expand, to spend money in the economy is deteriorating. So that's the first point. The second one is the cost of that ship laying in the harbor. The demurrage cost of a ship is huge. It's $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 per day, depending on the size of that ship. That cost needs to be covered somehow. So that needs to be covered mainly by the farmer because he's the exporter. The knock-on effect is on the insurance of the vehicles, the time, the cost of transport. That's just going up by the minute, the longer the delays are. So that's a concern. It's not only in agriculture, it's the whole of the economy. The cost of transport, the cost of insurance, the risk associated with that just makes the input cost of the people producing food and any other stuff for that matter, makes it more. And at the end of the day, our consumers, our local consumers in South Africa, pays more for the stuff that they buy because of this this challenges, this risks that we experience daily on the roads.
Mr. Minnaar, talk to me about this quota, because obviously a lot of people that we've been speaking to, whether it be experts and even government officials, have alluded to a reasoning that was given historically, which was the quota of South African drivers employed versus foreign national drivers employed, right? There was retaliation with that. But then the Labour Department had to come up with the quota on what company, how many people companies can employ within that quota. Has this still been discussed, or is it a matter of waiting for the Transport Department to also change its act coming to, permits that it gives?
Yes, I'm not quite sure what's happening in the transport industry. It's not our expertise, but what we can see in agriculture, certainly the effect of permits from foreign countries is really having a huge effect on the ability to produce in South Africa. We see in general that these workers from foreign countries are really working harder and working more. And I suppose it's the same in the transport industry as well. And the lack of productivity of South Africans is really costing us a lot of money. And I'm generalizing. It's not specific, but in general, you get a lot more productivity out of foreign workers than you get from local workers, and that's historic. There's a lot of reasons for that, and I don't think we need to go into that detail. But that's what we experience currently.
All right, Mr. Minnaar, thank you very much for your time here on eNCA. Jaco Minnaar, he's the president of Agri SA.